Oh, hey, this is Ron Armstrong, filmmaker with WeBuzzFilm.com, and you caught me playing around with this really cool Star Trek phaser that William Shatner, aka Captain Kirk, gave to me when I took over the USS Enterprise from him. Just kidding. But anyway, I wanted to make this quick video blog. You know, I always say quick, but I end up talking a lot. But anyway, I wanted to make this quick video blog which talks about the single biggest mistake that filmmakers make when they start their Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign pages. And what is that? They adopt the philosophy of, come closer. They adopt the philosophy of, if you build it, they will come. Not necessarily so, said the sage. See, I check my email box every day, and I'm getting a lot of positive responses from people who are very happy with our services. But then there are those filmmakers who choose to go it alone, and you're more than happy to do that. But what happens is that they're hit with a realization. They get hit with reality. And that is, they say, well, this is a lot of hard work, and I'm not reaching my fundraising goal. Why is that? And I hope you understand that when you launch your campaign on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, if you don't, at the very first 2 days, reach 25 to 30% of your goal in those first 2 days, more than likely you probably will not reach your entire fundraising goal. Just a thought behind that. Now, these filmmakers, again, like I said, they're very surprised and shocked that it's so much work, and they're wondering, well, I hear about all these success stories about these guys who've gotten 50 to 100,000 pledged to their campaigns. How did they do it? Well, I'm going to give you the secret formula. I'm going to tell you how they did it. And really, it's no secret. They did it either one of two ways. The first way is that many of these filmmakers had brand recognition. They had a built-in audience. And that usually comes from having prior success in some film endeavor. And they just leverage that success to help them fund their projects. And usually those filmmakers, they have about an email list of 10 to 20,000 people that they know, that they can send out an email blast and direct people to their campaign page and say, pledge. Also, what they have is they have a large Facebook or Twitter following, and they do the same thing. They post up there and say, listen, I've just started an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter campaign, pledge to my super cool project. But what about those filmmakers who don't have the brand recognition and the built-in audience? How did they reach their fundraising goal of $50,000, let's say? Well, they worked their asses off. You know, they got up very early in the morning. They sent out emails. They tweeted. They posted on Facebook. They went out there and they started talking about their projects. They contacted magazines or newsletters and said, do a story on me. And they realized they know it's a lot of work, but they soon realized it's more work than they ever expected. In fact, it's a full-time job. And many of them had to put their jobs on hold so they can fund their projects, you know. But I have a revolutionary thought. And just bear with me in mind. What if instead of doing all of that hard work, assuming that you don't have brand recognition or built-in audience, that you hired WeBuzzFilm.com? Whoa, what a thought, right? See, what we can do for you is we'll do all the hard work for you so you can focus on more creative aspects to your project. We have a staff here, and they're very, very good at social marketing. They know how to go on all the social sites, really create this exciting buzz about your project and direct people to your Indiegogo or Kickstarter campaign page and get people to pledge. They're very good at making a persuasive argument of why people should pledge to your project. Cool, right? In fact, word is on the street, I hear we have a couple of godfathers working with us that make people a deal they can't refuse. I'm just kidding. But, you know, think about this. I'm the type of person that if I went to Vegas, I don't gamble. If I did go to Vegas and play, let's say, poker, I would stack the deck in my favor. You know, I don't like to play the odds because the odds are always in the house's favor. So I would bring my own marked deck and play that way. Or if I was going to play the slot machine, I would basically put in a RAM card that's pre-programmed to have me win the jackpot when I pull down the lever. That's just my thinking. In fact, you know, I'd be like Captain Kirk here, who played, you know, did the Kobayashi Maru test and won against the Klingons by pre-programming the computer so that he could win. Now, kind of embarrassed to let you know that I know a little bit about that trivia, Star Trek trivia, but I'm not a Trekkie, so don't worry about it. But my point being is that don't leave it up to fate. Don't just go on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and start a campaign page and think just because you build it, they will come, because they may not come. why not stack the deck in your favor and hire the experts at WeBuzzFilm.com who will do all the hard work for you? Because I am very, very real with you. It is a lot of work. And I see these guys, the staff that I have, basically working around the clock, and they do an awesome job. I got to praise every one of them. And we always give out reports about, like how well each person's campaign is doing, and they get a full report, and it's really great. You can see. So think about that. If you want to save yourself a lot of time and effort and reach your fundraising goal, try WeBuzzFilm.com. And that's all I have to say for now. So I'm going to watch a Star Trek episode, and I was looking for the monitor there. Where is it? Star Trek episode. And I'll talk to you later. Again, this is Ron Armstrong with WeBuzzFilm.com. That's all for now.